It has been a long election season, but we still have important local and national races to distill. Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Rolly Hoyt.
And I'm Faith Woodard. We start our local coverage tonight with a situation we've seen before in Little Rock. Yet again, voters saying no to a sales tax increase.
TH11's Ashley Godwin sat down with the mayor and vice mayor tonight to hear what's next after voters again said no.
Voters turned down the tax once again. Now the city is going back to the drawing board as they plan funding for the next year.
I'm disappointed that it didn't pass. We had a lot of really good things in there, things that we need.
After having unanimous support from the board of directors, city directors, and police and fire unions, Little Rock voters said no to a 1% sales tax increase. There were two questions on the ballot, a 3/8 tax and a 5/8 tax. Both of them voted down with a similar margin of about 60% to 40%. Mayor Frank Scott Jr. says he heard from some people on why they didn't vote for it.
As I was out and about at the polling locations, I had several voters who I know are strong supporters of mine who came up to me, gave me a hug, and talked about how good they believe the city is doing in the right direction, but they just couldn't fathom an additional penny during this time because of the economy.
The tax would have generated $65 million over a 10-year span. Now that the city doesn't have that additional funding, they're going back to the drawing board to adjust.
But I plan to prepare a balanced budget as I've done the past 5 years.
But will the city try again to introduce a tax increase to the people of Little Rock? Vice Mayor Webb says it would take some work before that could be considered again.
First of all, to go to our residents now and really have to have some deep conversations about why they didn't support it, what they would want to support. And I think we have to look back at the last time we were able to pass a sales tax and say, how did they do that?
In Little Rock, Ashley Godwin, THV 11 News.
The city of Little Rock will form their budget for 2025 on Friday.
And after that, we should know a little bit more about how they plan to allocate funds into next year.
Of course, we will be following that, bringing you updates both on air and online at THV11.com.